Hey folks, my name is Carl and welcome back to the channel. So you're thinking about applying for the Rural Community Immigration Pilot or the RCIP, but you don't know where to look or how to find a valid job offer. Well, you're not alone. One of the most confusing parts of the RCIP is finding a job from a designated or approved employer. So in today's video, I'll walk you through real RCIP community job portals where you find employers that are actually hiring foreign workers under this program. And no, we're not going to be using Job Bank, Indeed, or any of the generic sites. So stick around, as in this video, I'll show you exactly where to look. On the official community web pages that actually post RCIP eligible employers and also jobs. We'll cover which communities are active, how to find designated employers, how to apply directly, and bonus tips to stand out and get hired. Stick around. Well, so first of all, let's talk about what kind of jobs qualify for the RCIP. So to qualify for the RCIP, the job offer that you receive must meet all of these conditions. So number one, it must be full-time and non-seasonal. It must come from a designated or approved employer in one of the RCIP communities. You must be offered a position that matches the community's labor needs. The jobs can be in healthcare, trades, hospitality, transportation, manufacturing, or even agriculture. Just something depending on the community's needs. It must also match the NOC skills levels, usually tier 0 to 5, and the offer must come before you apply for permanent residence. So you must have that offer in hand before you apply for permanent residence. Now, each community has its own list of designated employers, and those are the ones that you need to target. So in the next section, we are going to look at how to find the designated employers on some of the RCIP portal. Now let's look at some of the RCIP community portals and where and how to find the jobs or the designated employers. I'm going to be demonstrating that. But before we go in, one thing that I want to state here is that some communities have actually deferred the start dates for their respective RCIP programs. So not all the communities that have subscribed to the RCIP program have actually started the process. Some are still waiting for funding and stuff like that. And we're going to be seeing some of those in the demonstration. Now, some of the communities also have a detailed timeline of when certain actions related to the RCIP will take place. An example of that is North Okanagan. So in the demonstration, we're going to be seeing all of that. I just wanted you to, keep that in mind, because on some of the websites, you would find that the designated list of employees has not yet been shared, right? But then the communities have stated that they're going to be sharing those at a later date. All right, so diving right in, we're going to start with Susi Marie in Ontario. Now, the website for Susi Marie, we're going to put in here. That is welcome to ssm.com, and then you push enter, and then this will take you to the home page for Susi Marie, and then you're going to go over to immigrate. Right, you see the tab right here, it says immigrate, and then right here you'd find Rural Community Immigration Pilot. So you click on that, and then you scroll down. There's a bit of info about the RCIP, priority sectors, and all of that, but you're going to scroll all the way down, and then you'd find these three tabs. Now, one says applicants, employers, and designated employers. Now, for applicants, let's just click on that. This is going to give you more information for those that are interested in moving to Susi Marie. It would cover the eligibility, the recommendation from the designated community, the work experience requirements, and all of that. That is all here. We're not necessarily going to go over all of these, right? Because we have already covered all of these. But if you go back, for employers also, they have certain requirements for the employers as well. If you click on that, you'll see that they have the employer eligibility requirements as well. But what we are more interested in is the applicant section to know more about the requirements, and then the designated employers. So we click on designated employers, and here we are going to find a list of the designated employers in Susi Marie that have been approved under the RCIP program. So there are over 30 employers on this list, right? So if you're interested in moving to Susi Marie, you'd have to check out the employers one by one, talk to them, apply, and get it started from there. But here on the Susi Marie employers list, you can see that some of the employers have been marked as not currently hiring. I'm not sure why. Maybe they've already met their targets for people they want to hire or whatever, but I'm not sure. So a few of them, also this one has the same thing, and then a few of them down there also have that as well. But generally, there are over 30 employers that are hiring. So this means that they can hire people from outside Canada under the RCIP program. So you'd have to, do a bit of work, check out the employers, check out if they have any application portals on their respective websites so you can apply. If not, like I already stated in the video, you may have to try and, connect with them through other means, like I mentioned, but we're going to do a bit more of that in the next section as well. So this is for Susi Marie, the list of designated employers. This is where you are going to find it. Okay, so next on the list is branding in Manitoba, and the website for branding is Economic Development branding.com. And then here we go. So when you get to the branding website, you see a number of tabs here. We're interested in immigration. Now when you click that, this navigation pane will open, and then we click on RCIP. So there's the RCIP overview, the sector and labor market priorities list, the list of designated employers, and the FAQs. So we are more interested in the list of designated employers, so we click on that as well. Okay, and then there is a bit of information here, but when you scroll further down, you see the list of designated employers. There are some notes to the side to tell you more about the employers and what positions they're offering as well. So if you look at the list for branding, it's not as long as the Susi Marie list. However, these are some of the employers that you can start from. Again, when you come back up here, it says there's a note to foreign skilled workers, and it says that the list will be updated. This list will be updated regularly as additional employers are designated, right? So this is it for branding in Manitoba, right? So you have the list of employers that you can start, your applications with. All right. Now going back to our homepage again, let's try Altona, Ryland, right? So the website for that community is red-rpga.com. Okay, so also for Altona, Ryland, you're gonna see that you have a tab here for immigration, and then there's RCIP. They also have a priorities list and list of designated employers. So when you click on the list of designated employers and you scroll all the way down, you're going to see that it says employers listed below are officially designated, blah, blah, blah. And then they are eligible to hire foreign skilled workers from outside Canada or support current employees on temporary status in applying for permanent residency. Okay, like we've already stated. But when you go further down, it's going to tell you that they are not yet done with the list of designated employers, and it's coming soon. Okay, so just like I said, some of them have not hit the ground running yet, but very soon you're going to have the list of designated employers for Altona as well. Okay, so another one that we can try is Thunder Bay, and the website for Thunder Bay is go to thunderbay.ca, right? We push enter. This will take us to the Thunder Bay Community Economic Development Commission website. Now here they have a number of tabs, so we're going to click on how we help, right? So under how we help, there is immigration, and then we are going to click on that as well. Now when you click on that and the page loads, scroll all the way down, and you're going to see regional economic development through immigration pilot and the rural community immigration pilot, the RCIP. This is what we are interested in. So scroll all the way down and click here to learn more. All right. Okay. Now after the page loads, we scroll down again. Tells us about the RCIP. Again, like I said, make sure that you take your time to read all the information here, right? Because each community has some specific guidelines or specific requirements that you have to meet. Now, when you go all the way down, you see that for Thunder Bay, they have their list right here on the right-hand side, right? So they have designated employers, okay? So like Altona, they've also stated that this list will be updated on an ongoing basis. Please check back regularly for latest updates, right? Okay, so after that's done, you'd see the companies listed here with their addresses, Lakehead Roofing and Metal Cladding. So I think, you know, this company would be for people, you know, in construction and stuff like that. Maltese Grocery, Clara Industrial Services Limited. You know, they have a list here, and their list is quite long as well. They have, I think, over 20, getting to maybe 30 or even more designated employers, right? So when you are on the Thunder Bay website, just make sure you take your time to go through the list of employers, check out what they do, and then, you know, see if they have their own application portals, or just reach out to them and start your application from there. So make sure that you bookmark all the links that I'm going to be putting in the description so that you can check back regularly, okay? But the next and the last community we'll be checking is West Kootenay. Now, their website is West Kootenay immigration.ca. Let's enter. All right, and it takes you to their, this community is in British Columbia. It takes you to their web page as well. Now, here, the tab that you'll be clicking on is candidates, right? Candidates. So you click on candidates, and then it tells you about the rural community immigration pilot when you scroll down here. But I want you to scroll further down. It tells you the checklists that are coming soon, and then under here on this bottom section, there is verify eligibility, get a job offer, employers submit application. So it has, you know, like the steps that you are going to go through. But here on point number 2, you're going to see that it says to use this pilot, you must have a job offer from a designated West Kootenay employer in a priority sector and occupation. And then they said the lists coming soon. So they have also stated that they do not have their list ready yet, and the list is coming soon. So you're going to be seeing this here and there with some of the communities where they don't have their lists ready yet. But like I said, just, you know, bookmark the pages, make sure that you're able to come back to them at another time, and, you know, see if there are any updates. I'm going to do my best to post the links to all their communities under the RCIP so that you can check for yourself. Now, there are some communities that have not even launched their web pages yet, but hopefully we can add those as they come in. All right. So now that you found the job, what next? You know, how do you apply? How do you reach out to the employers? So there are a number of steps that you have to follow. First of all, make sure that you tailor your Canadian style resume to match the NOC duties. Okay, now if you do not know how to prepare Canadian style resume, I have a video on that. I'm going to link that above, and you can check that video out as well. Make sure you write a custom cover letter that references RCIP and the community's name. Thirdly, email the HR department directly if listed, and mention that you're applying under the RCIP. So you'd have to do a little bit of work, okay? You'd have to find, because some of the communities just have a list, as we've seen, they just have a list of the designated employees. So you'd have to, check them out, check their web pages, reach out to them and make that application, okay? Now, if there's an online portal, apply there, but also follow up with a direct message. So if the company or the employer has an online portal for job applications, you can apply there, but it's always good to follow up with a direct message, especially if it's been over 7 days since you applied. Now, the fifth point here will be that since this is for immigration, make sure that you include details about your IELTS or your CELPIP score. You can include that in your resume or your application, and your details about your ECA report if it is ready, okay? So because this under the RCIP program, it's okay to include those details as well. Again, one tip here is that you can use LinkedIn to find HR contacts at the employer and send a message, okay? Some employers are on LinkedIn. You can find them there and be able to contact them through LinkedIn. And then if you have any Canadian volunteer or education experience, make sure you mention that as well. So that's for people that are in Canada that are also applying under the RCIP program. And let's also talk about some common mistakes to avoid. So first of all, do not apply for non-designated jobs or do not apply to non-designated employers. They cannot do anything for you, okay? And also do not forget to check if the job is full-time and non-seasonal. So make sure that it's not a part-time job you're applying for or a seasonal job. Those ones do not qualify for the RCIP. Do not ignore the community's specific eligibility requirements, okay? So as you'll see when you're on the community portals, some of the communities have specific guidelines or specific rules for their RCIP programs. Do not ignore those at all. Do not ignore those, especially if you're interested in that particular community, okay? And lastly, do not pay for jobs or interviews. Most communities frown. I'll say all communities frown on that, okay? So if someone is offering you, a job and asking you to pay to get that job so they can apply for the RCIP, tread cautiously, okay? If you found out, it's gonna cause a huge mess for you. So just be careful. Now, some tips that I can offer here are that, first of all, make sure that you bookmark each community website, because as you saw, there are some communities that have not yet posted their list of designated employees. So make sure you bookmark every community link and make sure that you always revisit the links to check if there have been any updates. Also, make sure that you keep track of your applications, okay? You can create a spreadsheet with job title, employer, NOC, date applied, and the contact person. You have a nice spreadsheet, an Excel sheet that has all the details. Because trust me, when you're applying to many jobs, it often happens that you've forgotten the particular job that you applied for. And sometimes when the employers reach out to you, you're wondering what position did I even apply for with this employer, right? So make sure you have everything detailed out so that when they reach out for further information, you know exactly what you applied for and you can provide that specific information, okay? So you can have a spreadsheet to track that as well. Now, also make sure that you follow up. Like I said, follow up after 1 week. If you haven't heard anything back, that's a good thing to always do. So before we sign out, just know that finding a valid job offer takes time. It is difficult and there are many people applying. But one thing that I always say on this channel is that do not ever give up, okay? So if you are already applying on the portal that I just showed, then know that you are already on the right path, okay? So don't give up. And also, if this video helped you, hit the like button, subscribe if you're yet to subscribe to the channel, as it really helps to grow the channel. Drop your questions in the comment section, or you can tell us about the RCIP community that you're targeting. Do not forget to subscribe for updates on the RCIP, Canadian PR, and job hunting strategies. Like I said, I'm going to put links to the community's job portals in the description, just so you can bookmark them and check them out, frequently to see if there have been any updates, you know. So thank you very much for watching, and let me know if you have any questions as well. I'll see you in the next one.